Sunita and we are studying Kingdom Animalia, and this is the sixth video of Kingdom Animalia topic. So in Kingdom Animalia, so far we have studied several things, and basically we have studied several criteria for the classification of Kingdom Animalia. Few of them which are very important, and you learn several new terms in that. In those criteria are germ layer, symmetry, body plan, and then you have studied about even levels of organization. So these are very important criteria which are used for the classification of Kingdom Animalia. So one more such a important criteria we are going to study today. It's called as the coelom. Now coelom, it is a totally new term to you, so try to understand it properly and then we will go ahead. Now when we consider coelom, this word translates to body cavity. Coelom literally means body cavity. Now what is body cavity? What do you mean by body cavity and how it is related to animal classification? Now cavity means open space. Remember, cavity simply means space, but just for understanding I am writing open space. Now the definition of coelom is something like this. I am just writing important part of the definition. It's like cavity present between, see, the definition of coelom is cavity present between intestinal wall or intestinal canal and body wall. Try to understand this definition. Whatever cavity present in between the intestinal wall means our digestive system. Intestinal wall means digestive tract. So the cavity which is present between digestive tract and body wall literally means skin. So whatever cavity present between digestive system and skin, it is actually coelom. But when we observe our body, we don't see any empty space, any open space between the intestinal canal and skin. Actually our whole this space is filled with different organs. Our liver, our lungs, our various different, our skin, our muscles, our blood vessels, not skin, our blood vessels, etc. All organs are basically fit into the body cavity. So there is no visual body cavity, there is no visual coelom right now, but it was there in the embryonic condition. Human being and many other animals, many other advanced animals were having this body cavity, having proper coelom during embryonic condition. Now how exactly the coelom was present in the embryonic condition, try to understand it, then we'll go ahead. Now when we consider our embryonic condition, our life starts with a single cell called as zygote. In sexual reproduction, all animals' life starts with zygote. It is a first cell of new life. Now when we consider this zygote, we studied this in last video. It is just a revision of it. See, do you remember? Zygote develop into a mass of cell, a bunch of cell called as, see, zygote undergo continuous division to form a group of cell. What does that group of cell is called as? Do you remember it? Yes, group of cell is called as, correct, it is called as blastula. It is called as blastula. Then blastula undergo further development. What happened to blastula after the further development? The cells of the blastula rearrange themselves into 3 layers. What these layers are called as? These layers are called as germ layers. Which are those? Ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, correct? So these 3 layers are formed. Once these 3 layers are formed, it is the part of embryo or the stage of embryo is not called as blastula. Now it is called as gastrula. So this is a gastrula stage of embryo. 3 layers are formed. Once 3 layers are formed, the embryo starts for the further development. Now what happened, if you remember, the between space, middle space is called as blastopore. There observe, after the formation of 3 germ layers, all cells start their individual movement. Every cell start to move, and because of this movement, every cell get its own place. So to understand this, see this diagram. Now see, in this diagram you can clearly see this is blastopore. Can you see it? Blastopore is pushing endoderm ahead. See, this is endoderm and the blastopore pushing the endoderm ahead. So because of this movement, like endoderm is going up and entering in the mesoderm. Simultaneously, mesoderm is also moving. Ectoderm is also moving. So all cells are moving. And because of the movement, what exactly happened is this red colored cell, can you see? These red colored cells are mesoderm and these yellow colored cells are endoderm. Okay. So as these cells are pushed ahead, mesoderm get divided into 2 parts. See here, clearly you can see 2 parts of the mesoderm. One is at the top here and one is at the base. Now remember this, these endodermal cells are, and these are same, they are from behind, they are connected actually. From there, it is a section, no? From circular they are connected, and here they are separated from this. Got it? So these upper layer, here it is upper but it is close to ectoderm. This mesodermal part is called as parietal mesoderm. Parietal mesoderm, and this is called as visceral mesoderm. So basically, because of the movement of the layer, mesoderm got separated into visceral, which is close to endoderm, or covering the endoderm, and parietal, which is covering नहीं बोल सकते, cannot say covering, it is close to ectoderm. So 2 layers are formed. Got it? Now because of the 2 layers, what exactly happened? Try to understand. As mesoderm moved, there is a space, there is a formation of space in between that, and that space is nothing but a body cavity. It is nothing but a coelom. See, I am writing here. Can you see this red arrow? It is a coelom. See, try to understand. Zygote formed blastula. Blastula formed gastrula, in which 3 germ layers are formed. Because of the movement of these 3 germ layers, mesoderm got split. Mesoderm got divided into 2 layers. Visceral layer and parietal layer. Visceral is the one which is close to endoderm, and parietal is the one which is close to ectoderm. So because of the movement, the cavity is formed, and that cavity is coelom. And that cavity helped animals a lot. Now first let us try to understand what is the classification of animals on the basis of coelom, and then we will study the significances of coelom, what are the advantages of coelom. Now on the basis classification of animals on the basis of coelom. So on the basis of coelom, animals are 3 types. Acoelomate, in which do not have coelom. Coelom is completely absent. Pseudocoelomate. Pseudo means false. Pseudo is what? Pseudo means false. So the animals who show false coelom, okay, not true coelom, false coelom, are coming under acoelomate. Third type is coelomate, or also called as true coelomate. Now see these diagrams and try to understand. We will try to understand each animal specifically. Now first pay attention into the acoelomate animals. When we consider acoelomate, means no, there is no coelom. Coelom is totally absent. Now if you see this diagram, this outermost covering is ectoderm. Okay, then this middle one is mesoderm, and this small inner is endoderm. Now, if you see in between mesoderm or endoderm or ectoderm, there is no space, there is no cavity, correct? There is no coelom. So, obviously animals are acoelomate. On the other hand, if you see the pseudocoelomate animals, see this is their ectoderm, this is their endoderm, and here you can see mesoderm. See, mesoderm in the pseudocoelomate animal is in the patches. See, one patch, another patch, next patch. So there are 4 patches shown in this diagram, and there is coelom in between this. If you pay attention, there is a coelom in between this mesoderm. So coelom is present in the patches, not a continuous coelom. So these animals show off like they are having coelom, but actually they don't have, so called as pseudocoelomate. Then let us shift to acoelomate animals. See here it should be pseudocoelomate, huh? Don't get confused. It is pseudocoelomate. Now here see the diagram of the true coelomate animals, coelomate animals. Here obviously which layer is this? Ectoderm. This one is the mesoderm, and here inside very small will be the endoderm. Now if you pay keen attention, you will come to know this part of the mesoderm which is near to ectoderm, what it will be called as? Yes, it will be parietal layer. It will be parietal layer. Okay, and which is near to the endoderm will be the visceral layer. Okay, and in between the parietal and visceral layer of mesoderm, you can see the cavity, which is our body cavity, called as, correct, it is called as coelom. Now when we consider these true coelomate animals, coelom is really true, properly developed coelom. Now next question, is it clear to you? The classification of animals on the basis of coelom. See, on the basis of coelom, 3 types of animals: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and coelomate. Acoelomate, no coelom, no body cavity. Pseudocoelomate, false coelom. They show up like they are having coelom, but actually they don't have. So they are having coelom in the patches, and mesoderm is there also in the patches. Now next thing is coelomate. Coelomate, clearly true coelom is present in between the parietal layer and visceral layer of the mesoderm. Now next point is, what is the significance of coelom? Why we need coelom, or why animals need coelom and why some animals don't have. Now remember one thing, acoelomate are always a primitive animals. Okay, they are not having well developed organs. Okay, now what happened in them? See, when the embryonic animal is growing in the embryonic condition, as in acoelomate animals, coelom is not formed. There is no space between the intestine and between the body wall. So there is no space, basically, no empty cavity, no coelom basically. So there is no space for the growth of the organs. There is no space for the formation of organs. As well as mesoderm is, as this cavity is filled with some fluid called as mesoglia. Basically this fluid filled cavity do not allow growth of organ, and if organs are there, then they are not at a fixed position. They will be moving here and there. Even if we crush these animals, they will get squeezed. There is no protection for the organs from the crushing. So they will easily get crushed and get killed. Okay, so acoelomate, primitive animals, they don't have proper coelom, so no organ development properly, as well as whatever organs are there, they don't have protection properly. Then when we come to the pseudocoelomate animals, in the pseudocoelomate animals also, this cavity is fluid filled. This cavity is filled with fluid, as well as only few patches of mesoderm. So there is whatever organs are formed from the mesoderm, like our muscles, like our blood vessels, are not formed properly. As well as there is a fluid in the coelom. As there is a fluid, it do not allow the organ development. So organs are loosely poorly developed, as well as they are not properly connected with one another. Their connection with one another is very loose, so their organ may lost in the extreme conditions, like in the extreme force, their organ may lose their position and go somewhere else. Okay, so this is about pseudocoelomate. When we come to the coelomate, that is advanced animals. In the advanced animals, see this diagram properly. Mesoderm develop into blood vessels, into muscles, into some tissues. So these tissues are basically holding tissues. One layer developed in the coelomate called as the peritoneum layer. Now this peritoneum layer is there and covering every organ. Our heart is covered by peritoneum, our lungs are covered by peritoneum, our livers are covered by peritoneum, and this peritoneum holding the organ at a specific location. Okay, see, movement of lung is possible, but lung will not leave their position and go somewhere else. Liver don't lose its position and go in the lower abdomen. It doesn't happen. The organs are hold in a position. Like if you jump, if you run, our organs do not dislocate. Say thanks to the mesodermal, say thanks to the peritoneum tissue. Okay, and so this is the advantage of coelomate. So if coelom is there, the development of organ will take place properly. Mesoderm will hold the organs and they will not allow organ to leave their position and move in a different location. So let's go in details about coelomate animals. Now when we say few things you need to remember in this. Okay, just a second, we'll highlight those things. See, in coelomate, coelom is absent. This is most important thing you need to remember. Then mesoglia cannot hold the organs in their proper place, but it try it. Okay, then next one is example of coelomate is flatworm. Flatworm, whole phylum of flatworm is an example of coelomate. Then if this mesoglia do not provide protection against crushing force, so if we crushed animals, organs will damage. Then next animals are pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomate, false cavity, false coelom. Then mesodermal tissue is partially there, partially not there, and organs hold in a position loosely. The only true true phylum which come under pseudocoelomate is Aschelminthes. Okay, there are a few others, but they are not true pseudocoelomate. We'll learn about them in few minutes. Now next one is about coelomate. What you need to remember about coelomate is true coelom. Okay, that is the most important thing. Body cavity is present. Then presence of peritoneum. That is another important thing. Peritoneum will hold the organs in a proper place, and mesodermal cell give rise to this peritoneum. Now next thing is that the class or the phylums which are important, which come under the coelomate, are Annelida and all advanced animals, that is all chordates. Now next one is one more term you need to understand. It is called as hemocoelomate. Now try to understand hemocoelomate. It is a totally new term. Now when I consider this hemocoelomate, only two phylums come under the hemocoelomate. I'll explain you in a moment, but only two phylums come under this, are called as mollusca and arthropoda. Now mollusca include your octopus, then squid, then bivalves, etc. And arthropoda include all butterflies, all insects, crabs, prawns, etc. Now what is speciality of these two phylums? Try to understand. Now one important thing you need to remember is both the phylums are actually pseudocoelomate, but they show some modification in their pseudocoelomate. Now see, this is a diagram of cockroach. This is a section of cockroach. Basically this in between part, the central line, white colored line, it's showing hearts, but above it basically there is a digestive system. So here this you can consider as a digestive system, and this is the body wall. Okay, and you can clearly see the space between the body wall and digestive system. This space, correct? Now, but this space in case of cockroach is not empty. This space is filled with a fluid called as hemocoel. It is filled with hemocoel. So hemocoel is a body fluid in these animals and which is actually filling the pseudocoelom. As the pseudocoel is filled with hemocoel, hemocoel is a body fluid. As the coelom is filled with the body fluid, the animals are called as hemocoelomate. Okay, got it? Now hemocoel you can consider it as a blood of arthropod, but it is not a real blood, but do the same function as blood. Okay, and in insects, basically cockroaches and all, this is blue colored or off-white color. But in mollusca, hemocoel is blue colored. It is blue color. So you can say molluscans are having blue colored blood. Octopus is having blue colored blood. So animal classification on the basis of coelom, 4 different type of animals on the basis of coelom: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, coelomate and hemocoelomate. And coelom is the body cavity. Clearly it could be seen in during embryonic condition, but in the when we grow up, when we develop, the coelom is filled with different organs as well as blood vessels and muscles in case of human being. So this is all for today. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.